AP Mercy is back, and no, I am not coping. Hi everyone, I'm PirateWalnut, and let's talk about my predictions for Stadia Mercy in Season 18. There is a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Let's first talk about the elephant in the room, Crepuscular Circle. For those that don't know what Crepuscular Circle does, Crepuscular Circle makes it so all beams, damage boost, and healing are active while in Valk, as long as you are in range of your teammates without needing to hold your staff. This power was ultimately the meta pick for Mercy, as you basically became a mobile Juno ult, all while being able to frag out on your own, especially since Mercy's healing essentially doubled when building both attack speed and weapon power. However, it has been announced in Season 18, Crepuscular Circle will be kicking the bucket. I think this was a long time coming in my opinion. This power was genuinely super broken and was a must pick for any build, even if you were building into AP in my opinion. This power gave so much power for free, and while I'm currently mourning the loss of my favorite power, I think it's time to let go. I think the big thing that many of us Mercy players liked with Crepuscular Circle was that while Crepuscular Circle was super broken, it was also what kept together most builds because of how versatile it was. Powers like Battle Medic and Renaissance specifically only really got to shine because of Crepuscular Circle, and even powers that could hold up without Crepuscular like Serenity lost a lot of value if you don't take Crepuscular. But let's not forget Mercy's new powers, so let's take a look. Let's first start with the easy one, Supply Surge. Supply Surge is replacing Glass Extra Full and is a new power where it gives you a new ability where if you reload your staff, it gives the ally you are connected to 20% movement speed for 2 seconds, restores 50% of their ammo, and reduces their cooldowns by 3 seconds on a 10-second cooldown. Glass Extra Full was awful since the power was lackluster as it gave a measly 50 overhealth after fully healing someone and messed up support ult generation since you didn't get ult charge for giving overhealth, and it would be extra health your support would have to wait to get used up, and with how good heal botting was for ult, it really disrupted a lot of Mercy's game plan, so thank god it's gone. I think this new power is perfect as it gives more power to Mercy's kit at the cost of potentially not giving Mercy more money in the mid game since the buffs don't directly give her money but are purely supportive. I think this power will be amazing with a tank like Zarya who will use every stat listed, and frankly, we should be afraid of this, especially since Threads of Fate does double this power, meaning the 100 charge Zarya and her friend will be barreling towards you. I think this power does require a lot of communication since either one, you time it wrong and the benefits won't mean anything, or you use it at the correct time but your teammates run away or play too passive. I honestly think this power is super broken in the right hands but may feel lackluster to most, especially in a solo queue environment. Now onto the next power, Tethered Tourniquet. Tethered Tourniquet heals the lowest health ally for 100% of your staff when you pull out your pistol. This works similarly to Battle Medic where you build stacks and when you swap the pistol you start healing. Yeah, this isn't as good as Crepuscular Circle, but this does make her neutral better, especially if you like running Battle Medic since both powers go live in 10 seconds, which does also make an item like Celestial Clip potentially viable, which I think is cool. To be honest, Tethered Tourniquet had a big hole to fill since Crepuscular Circle was just that good, but to be honest, I'd rather give us something actually usable than another Equivalent Exchange or Glass Extra Full, which by the way, why is Equivalent Exchange still here? But anywho, I am honestly very excited for this power because while it may not be super broken, it is still very versatile as it'll open up for even more Battle Mercy builds and even AP Battle Mercy. While we only have this short clip from the Android here to judge this power, I can still see the potential and there is bound to be some crazy item or power interactions that could make this power something we may like with further testing. Now let's finally talk about the big changes to Mercy powers and items, which are a lot of nerfs, but there are still some diamonds in the rough. Our first change is Triage Unit increasing all healing from Mercy instead of just healing from your staff. Yes, the bonus healing will be less as it'll be 25% down from 35, but this is a massive buff to AP Mercy which makes Wambulance and Triage Unit actually viable, especially since you'll have multiple sources of healing from your staff and Wambulance. The next thing is Protective Beam with its new effect of keeping Caduceus staff connected after 1 second without line of sight. This power should now synergize well with a more mobile team as well as allow Mercy to play in even safer spots. I don't know if this power will really make a big difference since you'll be swapping beams frequently if you're building Threads of Fate, but this actually makes Protective Beam a somewhat appealing power to choose, especially if you aren't picking up Threads of Fate. Now, it would be a disservice for me not to mention the big nerfs of Serenity, Threads of Fate, and Battle Medic. While Battle Medic got minor number tweaks, I think the Threads of Fate and Serenity nerf is a huge blow to weapon focused builds. For Threads of Fate specifically, you'll be healing less with the second beam. This also means that you'll make less money on said beam, which could make you not hit your spikes early. Mercy is known to be a money machine, and I think this could potentially have huge impacts on Mercy's economy in the early to mid game, which may make her struggle even more. I still think that with Threads of Fate, Bait will still be a must pick for most weapon-based builds, even if it got nerfed harder to 25% because of how good a second beam is in all parts of the game, but the nerfs will still definitely impact her. Another big blow is Serenity's value being cut in half, going from 20% to 10%. While I think Serenity will still get its uses through some of Mercy's tank builds, it really does force Mercy to actually buy some survival items to stay alive instead of strictly loading up on weapon power and attack speed to survive with the regen. I honestly see this as a killing blow to Serenity for most builds, since you could just get other powers that'll be way more useful for your team, or this power may be too minuscule to notice in most situations. While weapon may be nerfed, this does potentially open up for other builds to be in the spotlight, like certain res focus builds, AP, or tank. Now finally, for Mercy specific items, I want to talk about Angelic Acrobatics and Blast Boosters. These items recently got a lot of AP added to them, which ultimately helps bring in more AP into AP Mercy builds, and I'm a broken record by saying this, but this is another thing that helps AP Mercy become real. I know I've been gushing about AP Mercy, but there is one more thing. Wambulance now counts as ability healing, which means Biotech Maximizer and Catalytic Crystal now work for Mercy. While Biotech Maximizer isn't as much of an item you would potentially take since Wambulance healing is single target, Catalytic Crystal could be taken to help get Val quicker, which can help you win more fights with the extra ults. Obviously, this is all speculation and will need testing in game, but with the added dive heroes coming into the game, having more mobility in your toolkit may help you stay alive a lot more, as well as the burst healing helping mitigate some dives and burst damage, so you might want to brush off your AP items for Mercy. Especially with how they are adding AP to Mercy's movement items, it really does seem like the devs are pushing for AP to become Mercy's more mobile playstyle, and how they're trying to incentivize players to choose AP in certain situations. I still think weapon-based builds will still be Mercy's bread and butter, since these stats just innately work with their kit, but the doors are open for more creative builds, and with the added pressure to stay alive from dives or general spam with the added anti-air items. I think going into Season 18, while Mercy may be a bit weaker, it'll be a huge expansion on how we play Mercy in Stadium. So many new builds and playstyles are just waiting to be discovered, and while a lot of Mercy players are scared for Season 18, I can assure you that you will be okay, as there's a new playstyle and build just waiting for you. One thing I am concerned about specifically for Stadia Ranked is how there will be no mirror matchups in Ranked, meaning only one person in the match can be a certain hero, similar to MOBAs like League of Legends. I think the situations that we're afraid of with a drop pick is either 1, the character you wanted to play gets taken away, or 2, the character you wanted to pick to counter the enemy gets taken by them, leaving you with little options since the roster is small and the kits are so diverse. While having no mirrors does allow for more interesting Stadium matches, I still think we shouldn't push away these valid concerns. I don't want to judge too quickly, but if the patch is genuinely bad, they genuinely update Stadium more than the regular game, so it'll be fixed quickly. I think with conflict comes opportunity, and I'm sure we'll figure something out. I mean, we gotta use our new Mercy skin somehow, right? Thank you so much for watching. I'm super excited for Season 18, and I want to know what you think Season 18 will be like. Also, for those watching this week, I'll be in a charity event called 24-Hour SMP, where it is a Minecraft server that lasts for 24 hours, where people aim to raise as much money for charity in 24 hours. And I would greatly appreciate if you support my charity stream at twitch.tv/thepirateWalnut, starting on Saturday, August 30th at 11 AM PST, and ending on Sunday, August 31st at 11 AM PST. And I hope to see you there. Thank you again, and until next time, bye bye!